The King's Return. Well, today's video is all about Jesus' return to Jerusalem. We're going to be seeing why he returned as the week progresses, but today I guess is all about how. But first, a picture. Can you tell me who this picture is of? Well, I don't mean the green guy in the middle. We all know that's Shrek. What about the one on his shoulders? Well, hopefully you know he's called Donkey. And this helps us to see how Jesus returned to Jerusalem, riding on a donkey. But I want us to have a look at a few pictures to help us to see the significance of this. So just imagine for a minute you're going somewhere where you really want to make a big impression when you arrive. I'm going to give you a choice of 4 different ways of arriving. You have to tell me which you'd go for. So here's the first. Would you arrive in a Land Rover, in a limousine, a Ferrari, or a golf buggy? Which would you choose? Okay, imagine this time you're going by water. Would you arrive on a super yacht, a battleship, a speedboat, or a pedalo? Or imagine this time you're going by horseback. You have the choice of arriving on a stallion, or a war horse, or a shire horse, or a donkey. Well, I'm guessing you didn't choose the golf buggy, the pedalo, or the donkey, but do you know Jesus did? As he arrived in Jerusalem, he arrived riding on a donkey. In fact, even more than that, it wasn't just a donkey, but a young donkey, a colt of a donkey is what we're told. Let me just read that to you from today's passage. Luke 19 verse 30, Jesus says to 2 of his disciples, "Go to the village ahead of you, and as you enter it, you will find a colt tied there, which no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks, 'Why are you untying it?' say, 'The Lord needs it.'" And we read in verse 35, they brought it to Jesus, threw their cloaks on the colt, and put Jesus on it. And as he went along the road, people spread their cloaks on the road. Well, as Jesus arrives on a donkey, it would be a little bit like pulling up at a luxury venue in a golf buggy or bobbing into a harbour on a pedalo. Jesus chose to arrive in the capital city in Jerusalem. How? While riding on a donkey. That's how he arrived. He arrived in humility. You see, Jesus came to Jerusalem as a king in order to save. And people, we read in that passage, spread their cloaks on the road before him as they did. They were shouting praise to him on the sidelines, declaring him as a king. But because he came riding on a donkey, well, this points to the fact that he's going to save not by flexing his muscles or by forced submission or by crushing others, but he's going to save by willingly laying down his life. You know, he came to the capital to take his place not on the throne, but on the cross. He came to the capital to be crowned not with a crown of gold, but with a crown of thorns. We read in Zechariah chapter 9 in the Old Testament, the prophecy for this happening, as it says, "Shout, Jerusalem, see your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey." Well, do you know the chorus from that song that we sometimes sing? "This is your God, the servant king. He calls us now to follow him, to give our lives as a daily offering of worship to the servant king."